So yeah, superhero movies were great. And we do agree on a lot of things, except the Dark Knight Rises thing. So it's October, and what are you dressing for Halloween? I'm actually, I just got a job, and I start on Monday. But I still have to make time to make my Hobbit costume. And that's what I'm gonna wear for Halloween, and that's what I'm gonna wear for the premiere of The Hobbit. And we should talk about The Hobbit on, coming soon or something. There's also the new James Bond film coming out. And I wanted to hear your opinion on the new Sherlock Holmes TV show from CBS. I think it's called Elementary. Yes, I haven't seen it. I really don't want to see it. I'll end up seeing it, but right now I'm watching the Borgias. It's a Showtime. I'm sure you've heard of it. Showtime made this show. It's like the Tudors, but it's the Borgias, and it's really good. And Jeremy Irons is amazing. He plays Pope Alexander VI, and he's amazing. It's a great show. Okay, so my Blu-ray doesn't work, and it sucks because I've been meaning to watch Star Wars on Blu-ray again. I watched it once, the whole 6 movies with my friends. I've been meaning to watch them again, but my Blu-ray doesn't work. So I've been watching them on DVD, but what I want to do now, and please, if you're a viewer of this, don't tune out because I'm gonna geek out. I've been watching the 6 of them again. I don't know how many times I've seen them, but I want to watch them all on DVD and then watch them all on Blu-ray and know the differences, because I know there's certain scenes that are different and I'm not quite sure of all of them, so I want to make that thing, and as soon as I do, I'll tell you about it. And you talk about some superhero movies coming out in the upcoming years, and yes, I do prefer Marvel over DC, but there's this one movie coming out from DC that I'm really excited about, and it's The Man of Steel. Because, come on, it's Superman. It's like, good, right? And you talk about some superhero movies coming out in the upcoming years, and yes, I do prefer Marvel over DC, but there's this one movie coming out from DC that I'm really excited about, and it's The Man of Steel. Because, come on, it's Superman. It's like, good, right? So Superman, and this is not gonna count that crappy movie, Superman Return, I think it was the name, with Brandon Routh. Awful movie, never ever see it. If you haven't seen it, just avoid it completely. But this new one coming out is really interesting, because you know how we always talk about that Gotham is not supposed to be New York, and Metropolis is not supposed to be New York either, but I think you can forgive them if you have identifiable landmarks, because it's more like a stereotypical city, and they're trying to keep the same line, the same style that Christopher Nolan kept with the Dark Knight series, with his Batman series, on this Superman one. And I saw the trailer, and it's pretty cool, it's pretty awesome, and so I'm kind of excited about that one. But I'm really excited about the new James Bond movie coming out. I think the movie comes out next week. And Skyfall, if you haven't seen it, go right now, check the trailer. Looks pretty awesome. And I saw the press conference with the director and the producers and the actors, and they kind of give you that feeling that they are gonna try to do a more classic Bond, and that was what's been missing from the last one. I mean, the last James Bond movie was just a complete disaster, and everything from the theme song till the plot and the settings and the Bond girl and everything just sucked. But this one, it looks like might redeem Daniel Craig as James Bond, at least for me. And actually, they leaked the song. Adele's gonna be singing she already did it. Adele's singing the theme song, and I must say, it sounds pretty great. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Adele, and she sings awesome, and it's awesome. I saw you posted on Facebook the interview that Jon Stewart did with J.K. Rowling, and I just died. I mean, it's the best interview with her ever. and I loved it. And even though she was talking, you know, about growing and stuff, and you were saying how she should, you know, keep blah. And I know how she was talking about moving on from Harry Potter. I think she should write more Potter stuff. Not Harry directly, but, and here's my idea. She should, and J.K. Rowling should hear this because I would buy that. She should write Hogwarts textbooks. She should write a history of magic, but you know, like a thick volume, like if it was your textbook. She should write, well, she already did Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find It, but she could do Hogwarts history. She could do biographies on Dumbledore, on McGonagall, and Snape. She could do a whole series on the Marauders, not necessarily as adults, but you know, their Hogwarts year. Or she could do, and this would be awesome, having a book, and hear my idea. She should do a series of books, or just one, that tells the whole story of when Voldemort first rise to power. You know, like 10 years before Harry, and when Voldemort first comes to power, and the Order of the Phoenix and how they fight against him. But, and here's a trick, you are gonna have obviously all the main characters of the Order of the Phoenix, but the story should be told by someone we don't know or we just heard of, like Mrs. Fig or even Neville's parents. So we would have like all the characters we love, like we'd have Lupin, we'd have Sirius, James, Lily, Snape, all of them in the story, but they're not the ones who are telling the story. And we should have like this epic World War II kind of story, but it's like magic war, and that would be awesome, and I would totally buy that and love it. And yeah, that. My question for you is, so I really want to watch Doctor Who, and you've told me is not a lot of seasons and it's not a lot of doctors, but how about you talk about Doctor Who on your next vlog, and that way I can get pumped to watching it, and everyone watching can too. And I promise I'll do on my free time that has been reduced considerably, thank God. But yeah, I'll have less time, but I'll still be doing this, and I'll still be watching TV shows, hopefully. So yeah, it's been great talking to you guys. Sorry for the late upload on this video. I promise to get back on track, and see you all. Please like, subscribe, and stuff, you know, all the buttons surrounding the screen. So bye, and see you next week.